Hey guys, I'm coming back at you one last time for the last part for the Supernatural Season 4 review. So, let's get started. Episode 13, After School Special. Now, this was about a ghost named Dirk or whatever that was haunting these kids to pick on jocks and all that. And Sam and Dean go back to their old high school to investigate what's going on. So they went there when Sam was in ninth grade or something. And yeah, just for like a week or so. Because their dad was going on a hunt or whatever. I'm giving this episode a 4.5 out of 5. It was good. And Dean was actually pretty funny as a gym teacher. Well, and they did stop Dirk or whatever, who was the one haunting these kids to pick on jocks. Just to kill jocks or whatever. That way they stop messing with them. So yeah, it'll get a 4.5 out of 5. Episode 14, Sex, Love, and Violence. This was where a siren or whatever was taking guys or whatever just to do them or whatever, have sex. And then I think they tell them what to do or whatever after. Say, do it for me or whatever. Kill this person for me. And no. And yeah, they did it or whatever. And Dean fell into the siren spell or whatever. And so did Sam. And they actually fought it out and all that. And Bobby was the one that helped them and saved them from that. So I'm gonna give this episode a 4.5 out of 5. Episode 15, Death Takes a Holiday. Now, this episode was pretty good too. Well, decent. It's where the Reaper or whatever stops taking people whose time is up or whatever. And the demons like kidnap one of the Reapers so they can break a seal. That way they can release Lucifer from his cage or whatever. And they take two of the Reapers, one which was Tessa that Sam and Dean ran into when Pamela sent them to the other side as spirits. But yeah, I think this episode is gonna get a 4.5 out of 5. They do, however, encounter Alistair, and Cole's the one that helps them out to make sure they stop the demons from getting this seal broken. And yeah, I'm giving this episode a 4.5 out of 5. So, and sadly, Pamela does die in this episode. And she kind of knows what Sam's doing. And yeah, she said, "She think you have good intentions, think again." Episode 16 was where they captured Alistair and are interrogating him to see if he's the one that's killing the angels. But no, he's not. And it was pretty much Uriel that was doing it. So Alistair was like being trapped by Dean, and Alistair just is babbling on saying, you were the one that broke the first seal in hell and all that. And yada yada yada. How he's gonna send him back to hell and all that. Or some kind of thing. Yeah. But yeah, this episode was pretty good. They do. Castiel did kill Uriel at the end of it. And Dean's like really upset because he's just afraid that he can't do this and he's not strong enough, and he tells Castiel to find someone else. It's not me. Because he's the one that has to stop Lucifer. And just all that. So, yeah. Sam did, however, take down Uriel and killed him. No, not Uriel, Alistair, my bad. He sucked more demon blood and all that. I'm giving this episode a 4.5 out of 5. Episode 17, which is where they are working in a business office or whatever. Well, Dean is, and Sam's like an on-call specialist or something for this corporation or whatever. And this is like something. This is like a different reality they're living in instead of the one they are. So Zachariah is the one that put them there just to see if they can make sense of what they were meant to do. I'm giving this episode a 4.5 out of 5. It's about a ghost that's haunting this place or business place or whatever. And Zachariah does wake Dean up from his thing or whatever. Says, "You're the one that's gonna stop him." And he's like, "Quit whining about it. There's a lot of fates worse than yours, but this is who you're meant to be," is what he's saying. So just own up to it, and you will do everything that needs to be done. This episode will get a 4.5 out of 5. Episode 18, which is where they meet Chuck, the prophet, which, yeah, who's telling them that Sam's gonna meet Lilith and all that, and try to see if he can stop the seals from breaking, but the only way is for intercourse, sadly. And I think Chuck interferes and all that, and he tells Sam and Dean when he first meets them that he's a prophet and he sees this stuff. It's where they find out that they're writing books about Sam and Dean. So Chuck or whatever is the one that does it. But yeah, I'm giving this episode a 4.5 out of 5 as well. Episode 19, Jump the Shark, which is about ghouls or whatever, which their half-brother Adam was in this one, and he was supposed to, what is it, he runs into Sam and Dean at this diner or whatever, after his mom's been kidnapped by this ghoul or whatever and taken. So pretty much his mom's dead. And Adam was dead too. He just says it at the end of the episode. And Sam's the one that teaches Adam all the stuff. The ghoul Adam. Not the real Adam. Real Adam's in a coffin with his throat ripped out and all that. Or something. That's what Dean finds out when he goes to see it. I'm giving this episode a 4.5 out of 5 as well. It's a good episode, just decent. Episode 20, The Rapture, I think it's called. I'm not sure. Might be wrong. This is where Cass's vessel or whatever goes back to this guy named Jimmy. So Cass is sent up to heaven to confess for his sins and all that. And yeah, Jimmy's just going back to his family and all that to see Claire and his wife. And yeah, it's doing there's some demons that are looking for Jimmy or whatever, who was Castiel. But at the end of the episode, it shows Jimmy and his wife and Claire getting taken by demons, and his wife's like a demon at the time. And so the only way to stop him is, well, Sam actually bites down on this demon and takes demon blood from him, from the demon. just sucking that demon blood. So he is fucked up. I'm giving this episode a 4.5 out of 5. Which, the end of the episode, it shows Sam getting locked in that room. And when Bobby's saying, you're the problem, this is for your own good. So they're kind of draining him out of the demon, whatever shit. This will get a 4.5 out of 5. Episode 20. Now, episode 21, When the Levee Breaks. This is the continuing episode, which happens to be where Sam's going through withdrawals from the demon juice he's been sucking. And he sees Alistair, and then he sees himself as a kid who has the yellow eye demon. So he's going through hell and all that. So, kind of like a junkie going through his withdrawals, seeing just testy and losing his shit. But yeah, this episode was pretty good too. At the end of it, Sam does get free by Castiel's doing. Releases the traps and his binds when they have to hold him down. So he went through a free withdrawal. So he did see his mom. The third hallucination he saw. But yeah, at the end of the episode, it shows Dean in the hotel with Ruby. Well, Ruby actually was there with Sam at the time. And yeah, they're just trying to stop Lilith, which Ruby and Sam are on their own trying to stop Lilith. But Sam beats Dean up and all that, and it's like, you don't know me, you never knew anything about me and all that. And Dean's like, if you walk out that door, don't you ever come back. And he did. And the last episode, Lucifer Rising, I think it's called. This was the final episode before the apocalypse season. This is where they kill Lilith and all that. And they confront Lilith and kill her. And Dean's like trapped in heaven or whatever by Zachariah's doing when they summoned him. And yeah, it's a pretty good episode. It just, Sam's getting ready to take on Lilith and break the final seal. And he did. And sadly, that's when it happened. And they do stab Ruby at the end. Dean comes in or whatever after he finds a way out, and Castiel springs him out of heaven. He's like, if Sam kills Lilith, the end begins. So yeah. And it happened, and Lucifer's Rising. So that is going to be the end of this season for this review. I'm giving episode 22 a 5 out of 5, and this season is getting an 8.5 out of 10. It's a very good season. Some episodes are decent, and some are okay, but overall, it's a very good season. Actually, yeah, 8.5 out of 10. That's a decent rating. So I will be back tomorrow for the next review. Should be for season 5. So stay tuned for that. And I will return, I think, tonight for the Sevendust album review for All I See Is War. And the Five Finger Death Punch songs, I might just wait till the album release, which is next Friday, just to do everything. So don't expect a track review, because I'm probably not going to do it. I'm just probably going to wait till the album drops. So I'll see you in the next video.